Is what I like to call the Maddening. It is my wish list for next year, Madden NFL 19. This is what I'd like to see out of the game. First things first, customization, players, emphasis on faces, lots more faces of these players. I'm talking we're talking hundreds of faces. It is possible. You can just get them in there. More coaches, assistant coaches, positional coaches, like linebacker coaches, D-backs coach. I just want more authenticity, more coaches, more customization of stadiums. Your ability to customize should be a huge factor of Madden. I know, like in NBA 2K, because I was a fan of that game. I like the customization option. You can create new teams, make expansion franchises, bring them in, do stuff like that. I like that option. It's really cool. And it'd be really cool also to customize your, stadium to a large degree. Make it an indoor and outdoor, retractable roof, non-retractable roof. Change positions of things, kind of like back what they did in Madden 06. I liked that aspect of where you can create your stadium the way you wanted it, but to an even more degree with this game. Alternate teams, I kind of emphasized on that. You gotta have new logos, like alternate logos and stuff. Gotta change it. They're god awful. And EA, this is an idea for you guys. You could have some sort of a logo contest where you pitch this big thing out on the internet where you get people to create custom logos for you guys to put like in a sweepstakes to, win the game. Or, not win the game, put in the game. Do something of that nature. That way you guys can get a ton of logos to put in the game. It'd be just epic. You can get some really neat artistic logos. More options for customizable cities. That'd be really cool too. More story to the game. More backstories. Extended commentary. Updated commentary on the player throughout his career. In franchise mode, online or offline. Make that an option. That there is an ability to do that. You just have to add a little bit more to the dialogue for the customizable character. Next you're going with specific tweaks. The money on the contracts, the money bar, get that to move up and down faster. So that way you can, kind of shuffle things. If you're editing contracts and you want, this player to make a little less because you don't think he deserves quite as much, you can change that on the fly and even make it a little faster so it'd be easier to do. Let's see here. Details of the contracts, like incentives. That's a real thing in the NFL. I'd like to see that in the game. Incentives in these contracts. Like if they do certain things, they get a boost in how much they make per year, stuff like that. Or they even get a boost in XP. But more in depth than what has been there before. Integrate NFL head coach. Assistant head coaches, like I said before. Schemes for each one of those coaches, so as you hire them, you got to pick guys that kind of fit your system. More financial control of the team, down to everything. People like the numbers aspect of the off-season and the current season of the game. More draft control. I'm talking like the movie Draft Day, but to a much more intense degree. Like I want to see lots of that because people love the draft. We want like cinematics. We want to really feel involved. More trade control. More customized, You can work conversations better with different GMs because you have better relationships with them. So you can maybe work trades better, stuff like that. More detailed front office controls. Something like the game NFL Head Coach. Both the original and then the more modern one in 09. That was very good. It was very fun to watch. Bring back something like the Tony Bruno show. I liked the newspaper and radio stories in franchise mode back in Madden 06. Those were really cool. Really made the game feel entertaining and interesting. Made you feel like you were a part of something bigger than yourself. Bigger, better draft. More animations, more intensity, more pageantry. Other teams call you during the draft to present a trade, much like the movie Draft Day, as I emphasized on before. Better Super Bowl and AFC, NFC Championship win animations. More animations surrounding the game in general, because people like that kind of thing. And make it so you can skip them if you want, like you guys kind of had before. But just, work on it. Make it a little more in-depth. Make it feel like you're more part of that game. I always liked the overhead look of the stadium in the city. Like even when I'm watching real games, that's a cool look. And you guys could even, make your own touch on it to have each city have their own special little unique thing. Better long shot. Next year I want to see you can play your career post-draft. The cinematics, you can skip certain things, and, based on who you are as a person, it affects, the game. Make it so you can build the player's abilities, like character abilities, physical abilities, etc. Excuse me. More animations between plays, press conferences, in coach or with coaches, in the owner's office, in the coach's office, between coaches and players, stuff like that. Your decisions matter more. Are you going to be humble, generous, kind, arrogant, etc., etc. Like that, those decisions of your personality affect how you play on and off the field. So, more NFL Network and ESPN personalities. I like those getting involved in the game, and I want to see it more in Madden. I always thought it was really interesting when ESPN football had those like halftime cinematics with the announcer, and they go over lots of stats, lots of talking about specific things, like he broke a certain milestone, and not just for that personal player, but also like specific little milestones that are scattered throughout NFL, record books and whatnot. They can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. Let's see here. And I want to see more personalities from ESPN and NFL Network. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Adam Schefter, Trey Wingo, Chris Berman, etc., etc. I want to see those guys active in the game. I want to see that pay big dividends in franchise mode. More accurate and detailed NFL records. It's got to happen. Hall of Fame records, like who's in the Hall of Fame, who goes into the Hall of Fame every year in the NFL, and have it be accurate to the real NFL, so when they retire, it's got to be 5 years after they can get in the Hall of Fame. I'd like to see something like that. Rookie records, keep track of those. Keep records from the past, specific little records that flash up on the screen while you're playing. Like I said, certain milestones that players pass. That are it makes the player feel like it's more of an achievement when you do something, you know, and the announcers talk about it. They say how cool of an achievement it is. Coaching records, individual seasons. I'd like to see, like, after you play one season in franchise mode, you can go back, look at all the stats and records from that past season, every single season. You can see the stats and final score of every single game from each and every season throughout your franchise mode. That'd be really cool, because then you can keep track of things better. Feel like more of a cool experience. The next long shot teaches you the nuances of the game, what coverages to look for, but more in depth than the last long shot. Like, it teaches you the same kind of stuff, but more in depth. It actually teaches you how to do it. Combine workouts, your social life in and out of the game, IQ tests at the combine, etc., stuff like that. I really liked that being an option, like a physical option. Drafted player backstories needs to be more in depth. You need, like, I think for each individual player, the game needs to have more of a connection to what you do in the game. It needs to recognize certain stats, certain achievements, certain milestones. The announcer needs to talk about it. The announcers need to be active in talking about your achievements and milestones and what you do, because it makes you feel excited to be involved in the game. It doesn't make you want to sim through the entire thing, because you're like, okay, the same old usual, BS. And also, simming needs to improve in terms of, when you sim a game at 15-minute quarters, the games don't end at like 95 to 89 scores. With teams throwing for 895 yards each, like, it's ridiculous. Like, make the simulation more realistic and make it follow the game more appropriately. No matter how many minutes you put on, make it normalized. Long shot focuses on a creative custom player for each individual person, so you can custom create what your player looks like, how they're going to be, what they're going to wear, this and that. Connections on and off the field affect your player, how it follows throughout your player's career, multitudes of different storylines and interactions with characters. Like, make it more, just make it more. And also, I think franchise mode has to be the emphasis of Madden 19. Madden Ultimate Team, I mean, as much as I'm sure a lot of players love it and appreciate it, there's a lot of players that really just want a really good franchise mode. And, I mean, we're just begging you guys to deliver on this year. And we really, really appreciate it if you heard our comments and respected what we have to say as a community. Any of you guys out there who like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be trying to pump out some more videos in the future. Hopefully I'll get to editing and doing some more cool shit. But yeah, I appreciate you guys out there on YouTube. I appreciate you guys out there on Facebook. Like this stuff, and have a good one.